Welcome to LSC, your local sports channel. It's high school basketball. Hampton High School, 2-1 playing host to the 0-3 Phoebus Phantoms. Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Hims along with Brent Musgrove. It's December the 12th, 2014. Right now, Brent Musgrove has James Daniels for Phoebus Phantoms. Brent?
James Daniels, been in the Peninsula District coaching for a long, long time, Coach. I don't think I've ever seen this team more snake-bitten than the Phoebus Phantoms this year. You could just as well be 3-0 as you are 0-3 right now. You got all the talent in the world. It's just that little hump bubble they got to get over. But tell me a little bit about how his feels coming into this. What do you work on all week to get him past feeling that move?
Well, you know, I tell them any great fighter got to be able to take it on the chin and keep on going. You got to keep positive attitudes. You got to play that much harder together. And it really allows you to see what you're weak at instead of camouflage it with W's. So we just take the positive out of it and keep growing.
Well, let me talk about a couple of these players. We've talked about some players before. Let's talk about Dwayne Marshall. What does he mean to this team?
Wow, Dwayne Marshall is a 4-year varsity player. He's gritty, plays tough defense. I mean, he's really our glue coming off the bench. And sometimes he's been starting also.
Well, let me just ask you about another player. The name is so familiar to me and my family, Lonnie Mann. Now, I go way back with his, I think it's his dad, and he won championships here with the Hampton Crabbers. Here he is at Phoebus. What's he do for you?
Well, Lonnie, I mean, he's been like our sixth man, but he's almost averaged double-doubles every game. He's put up about 23 minutes. And, yes, he is a son of Lonnie Mann, who attended Hampton High. He's doing good, great addition to Phoebus High School.
Well, Coach, I want to ask you one last question.
Yes, sir.
Coming in here tonight playing Hampton. Hampton's guard-oriented. Got two great guards that coming out here to play. What did you work on this week? I know you're a pressure team, and we go in the same way. How are you going to handle Hampton tonight?
Well, we're becoming a little bit more versatile in reference to what we do. We're going to play a little bit 23 bump zone, try to take away their shots, so make it a little tough on them, keep them out the paint, and we'll see how it falls from there.
Coach, I want to thank you so much for all the help you're giving me this week, and good luck tonight.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Bob, back to you.
All right. Thanks, Brent. Appreciate it. I want to let you know officials tonight. The head man is Rick Brandt. He's going to be assisted by Sean Whitfield and Darryl Stiff. Also want to talk about our crew on the cameras. Randy Bagoli, Susan Bowers, Rube Gabre, and Steve Fryer. Matt Buckwall is doing graphics and animation. Camera control operator Renee Camden. Greg Lesko is engineer and audio. Instant replay, Krista Campbell, and Andy Foley is our director and executive producer. And right now, Brent has Coach Walter Brower. Let's go to Brent.
Thanks, Bob. Again, of course, I'm here with senior head coach Walter Brower, the senior coach in the district by far. Coach, I want to ask you a couple of questions if I can. Young team, how is your team responding in practice, and are they where you want them to be now?
Not yet. We're doing a whole lot of work because, as you know, we have a different way of officiating games, and we're still trying to adjust. But, you know, they'll come as we continue on with the practice time. They'll be fine.
Have there been any players so far that have surprised you a little bit by how good they are or how attentive they are in practice or where they are?
Jalen Ray has, done about as well as anyone, really. He's a good shooter, good ball handler. But again, like all the rest of them, he has to work on defense.
He was one of the players I was going to ask you about. Let me ask you about another young man, number 32, Carver. What's he mean to your team?
He's a big boy, and he's going to get larger. He's, in the starting lineup now, but still got a lot to learn. He's going to be fine. I believe in taking young kids and working with them.
Well, you've done that for a long time, and you've turned out a lot of great ones. Well, let's get back to Ray just a little second. We gave him player of the game last time when we were here when he did the Bethel game. Explain a little bit more in depth how he's come out and become a role player for you.
I didn't hear which one.
Ray, explain a little bit more how he's come out and become more of a role player for you.
The word is maturity, okay? You just can't come up in JV and say, okay, I'm ready to go. No, you're not. It's a different brand of ball on the JV level, and he's, gradually moving on up the ladder.
Well, you've come out now, and you're about a quarter way through the season. Where do you figure your team? This is my last question. Where do you figure your team is now, and what do you see in this team you're playing tonight?
his team that we're playing tonight, I look across and I see the Mitchell kid who's 6'10". That tells me enough. And, you know, I know his people because they went to school here. Now, they've been very close to every team they played. So, you know, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, not only tonight, but for the rest of the season, for anybody.
Coach, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come over and talk to us. We always enjoy it, and I know we're going to see you again. Thank you so much. Okay, Bob, back to you.
All right, thanks, Brent. Walter Brower has been over here for 28 years. He was coaching here when I was still at Bethel in the late 70s and early 80s. So it's good to see him. He just does not want to walk away from it. He loves to coach. He loves to get these young guys in and come up and see them mature and get college scholarships and things like that, Brent. But now he's got two guards, Pitt and Godwin, two sophomores that can light it up. Both of them hit over 20 points in the last game, so they're capable of doing a lot of things. But then you look over there at the Phoebus Phantoms, and they got a 6'9" man, Mitchell, and then they got 3 6'4", 6'5" guys. Lonnie Mann, who you talked about, Elijah Nelson, who is and Robert Smith. These guys, they have such great athletes, and you look at the record, they're 0-3.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got to do this team when they played Bethel, and it came down to the fourth quarter in guard control. A lot of young players, and like Coach Daniels said, it's just a time of melding. They've got to learn each other, and they've got to find that 6, 7, 8 players that just doesn't change a thing when they flow in. And they got size, and they got some leapers, brother. I'm telling you what, when you see Nichols,
we call them Skywalkers.
I'm telling you what, when you see this young man Nichols and Smith and some of these players tonight, they're on the brink. And that's what I got to talk to the coach about before we did the interview.
And what I like about what Phoebus is doing, they're coming out of the 2-3 zone, very similar to what Jim Boeheim plays over there at Syracuse. If you ever watch that 2-3 zone, that thing is scary. They will trap in the corners. They will get in the passing lanes. You got to have what they call length. And I'm not talking about height, I'm talking length when you stick your arms out. You're much wider than what you think you are, and if you're passing against that, you will pass right into one of these players, and that's what James Daniel is trying to do, because he knows that his players can't play man-to-man sometimes with put your hand on and you get fouls and all of a sudden you're in foul trouble. He doesn't want that to happen.
Well, and saying that, I think if we're looking for weaknesses and strengths. I think Phoebus, personnel-wise, may be a little deeper. I think they can afford a little bit more foul trouble than perhaps Hampton can. Hampton doesn't have a lot of tall players. I think the tallest player is 6'5", and they don't have a lot of those. And you look at Phoebus here, they got 3 guys, 6'4", 6'9". Come on.
Yeah. But, you know, and I look at James Daniel now, people don't realize it, but he was one of the assistant coaches on the Bethel team with Allen Iverson and Rutland that won a state championship. So he's been around basketball a long time, but he hadn't been a head coach as long as Mr. Bowers. And I'm not going to call him Mr. Bowers because he's been here longer than anybody else.
Yeah, as I call him every time I see him, I call him Senior Coach Walter Brower, because, I mean, he's been at it 40-some years. Now, like you said, Coach Daniel, he was an assistant at Bethel in '93 when they won the state championship.
Yeah.
And just to carry it back a little bit further, he and I talked many times, and he was a point guard on the All-Army team. There's his expertise, and that's when his son James Jr. came along, the third, or whatever we want to call him.
He's the third. He's not the junior.
Now at Howard, leading scorer there. That's where he came from.
And what's really nice about this young James Daniels up at Howard, he was a preseason all-conference pick. Great job.
All right, we're getting ready to introduce, do the national anthem and all that stuff, but we can talk just a little bit. Yeah. I was tickled when I asked Coach Daniels if Lonnie Mann, because how many times are you going to hear that name? Yeah,
we talked about it the last time we did the game and wondered if he was related to the Lonnie Mann that played over at Hampton High School, but he was a football player.
Yeah, he played basketball too.
Yeah, but I mean, he was a great football player.
He was a great football player, but I mean, my daughter was a cheerleader when he was playing both sports. One of my daughters, well, 2 of them were cheerleaders.
Talk a little bit about Hampton defense. They want to jump. They want to switch. They want to pressure you all up and down the court. So it's interesting. There's going to be a little difference in last night. You and I went over to watch Menfield play Phoebus the other night. Phoebus come out of their zone and went man-to-man and got back in the ball game.
Right. That's exactly where they crawled back in. There goes the coach carrying everything in it. All right, here's the starting lineup for the Phoebus Phantoms. See if we get them up here in just a second.
This is a nice crowd. I tell you, this place is packed. There's not many empty spaces. As you see the lineups: Marshall, Belches, Nelson, Smith, Mitchell. And we got 1'6'9" and 2 6'4", 6'5" guys on that lineup.
The guards are about 6'1". The only thing under 6 feet out there on that side is the coach. I'm telling you, they've got quite an athletic team, Bob. And here goes the Hampton Crabbers. They're starting on it. Some premier guards on this team, too.
I tell you, 2 sophomore guards are some of the best I have seen in the Peninsula as a pair in a long time. You see one guard that dominates, but they got 2 guards. One's a point, one's a shooter, and they just do an outstanding job. And I'm talking about Pitt and Godwin. There you go.
Mustadi Pitt, Marquise Godwin, Jalen Ray, Matheens Carver, and Chris Crosland. Their starting lineup for the Hampton Crabbers. Watch Godwin and Pitt. Those are the 2 guards Bob's talking about.
And they can, if they get hot, they can put up a lot of points, especially Godwin. He's a streak shooter, and he can hit the 3. And watch him. If he hits his first 3, he can be a lot of trouble for the Phantom team.
Just to look out on that floor, it's interesting that they're putting Smith in there to jump the ball, and that's the way it looked like. Now, whether they're going to bring in 55 in there for him or not, I'm not sure.
No, that's Harrison.
That's
Mitchell, yeah.
But I mean, he's only 6'9", 6'10". We'll just jump the 6'4" guy right now, because when you see how high he gets up, you'll understand what we're talking about. And he's quick off the floor, Bob.
I tell you, you will just keep your eye on number 23, Elijah Nelson, transferred up here from Florida, and they've just made an impact on the football team and has made an instant impact on this basketball team. And the coach said he is an athlete.
We went over and watched him play Mitchell. He put 33 up in that game.
And he's the one that got him back in the ball game.
Oh, absolutely.
And Hampton didn't even contest the jump ball. Bringing the ball up is going to be number 12, Jamar Belches, 5'10" senior point guard. And we'll put it outside. And that's
25.
Breon Cuffey, one of the twins that transferred in from Bayside, I believe it was.
I think, or Lake Taylor, one of those. I don't know.
But you see what they're doing, that 2-3 zone.
Yep.
They're really putting some pressure on them, and they'll take them all the way down to the bottom.
It's a matchup zone almost. You know what you're talking about?
Yes. And that time, Nelson got the rebound and kicked it out.
All for Hampton.
Yeah, it went off. Nobody got the rebound. He kind of short-armed at that time. And they make sure these young men keep their shirts tucked in. That was really a kind of a silly foul by Mitchell that time.
That's not what Coach Daniels wanted to say.
And that was kind of not a real good shot by Elijah either. Just a little off balance on the shot.
He's usually under more control than
Yes, he is. Got a 4 on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's Robert Smith.
That's what
now,
we're talking.
Robert Smith is listed at 6'4" junior. Understand there are not many seniors on this team. There are 3 seniors on the Phoebus team. What a great leap and a great pass.
And he's not the only one on that team capable of doing that.
Oh, I know it. That's Oh, good pass by Masadi Pitt. You missed it. The guy standing right in your way, but he got the ball to the big man on the inside and put it up real easy. And I can't tell you who made the basket because I missed it.
Number 50 made the basket. That was Red.
Okay.
Red.
I tell you, Robert Smith jumping out of the gym. My goodness. I talked to Masadi's dad. Oh, see, look at that drive and dish the ball off. Great job there by the big guy. Number 50 passing that ball off real good, and that's Justin Red. Wow.
That was Crosland that got that bucket.
He was in the right place.
Yes, he was. Nice look. And you see Godwin getting up there with the best of them.
And he's got to do it. And one thing I like about these two sophomore guards for Hampton, they let the game come to them. They don't force it.
Look at that.
Wow. Good time, and there's the man you want to shoot the ball. And they're going to call a foul on Red, but I'll tell you what.
23 lost his balance. Red did not do anything to
No,
foul.
Nelson just lost his balance, but from that referee's point of view, that looked like he got bumped. Whoa, we got high flyers and skywalkers, and woo, I'm getting a nosebleed watching them.
Got the big man on the back line now, 55. Let's see if they use him. And he's wide open back there.
And we got a walk that time. And this is one thing one of the things that if I'm going to say something bad about the Phantoms, is they sometimes just do a little too much one-on-one.
Yeah, too quick. They try.
And you got to get your teammates involved. You got to get them involved.
Well, both teams have started a couple of players that normally have not been starting for them tonight.
Red was one of them.
And 42 for Hampton has not been a usual starter. That being, let me find him here. Crosland, yeah, he has. I'm sorry. Well,
good job of getting in the passing lanes, and that's what that 2-3 zone will do. You cannot make that cross-court pass very easy.
Well, the player got himself up in the air and had to do something with the ball.
Yeah, well.
Left his feet. Good hustle.
And that was
Crosland.
A long pass to make from out here, almost at half court. That kind of a pass will get in there if you bounce it. But if you throw it that far away, somebody's going to get their hands on it, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, Caver has come in for Red on. He's got one foul. Red does. He's just keeping people fresh and warm.
And he set down Mitchell too. Yeah, a little foul that time, a little touchy touch.
A little reach in.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. That's Jalen Ray, number 20. That's one of the young men you talked about tonight.
He got our player of the game last time we did Hampton when they played Bethel. And Hampton's jumping the ball pretty well right now. It looks like it's kind of got Phoebus a little bit confused, but you see who's there to get the rebound. He made the pass.
He made the pass, set it up, got the rebound. We're talking about Nelson. He's an exceptional athlete.
Yes, he made the pass to the shooter and then went straight to the boards. Well, gotta be watching for it. Good play by number 2.
And that's Masadi Pitt.
Yeah, good defensive play.
We got timeout.
I think Hampton called it.
Yeah, I believe so. It's not a full timeout. It's one of these you touch your shoulder timeout.
What does that mean? 20-second, 25?
I don't know what that means.
But here we are with 5 minutes into the game, Bob, and it's a 6-4 score. Both teams feeling each other out a little bit. Yeah, you want to see a great play. Watch this feed and put back by 44 Smith here a minute ago. We got to see it about 2 minutes in the game.
The motto for the Phoebus Phantoms is all in, and that means,
Watch
here we
this.
go.
Ding, bang.
Wow. All in means discipline, strength, habit, character, God, family, and school. Then basketball.
Well, let's see what
Now,
calls.
Hampton is in the zone. And I tell you, Nelson took that ball in and got an elbow on the top of his head. I don't know who they call the foul on, but
It's
he's
on
going to shoot
32.
too. He's still rubbing the top of his head.
That's Caver. He had a little trouble the other night from the free throw line, and that's usually not him. He'd go on streaks, Bob. I mean, he had 7 out of 7, 7 out of 8. Here's that foul coming down the line.
Oops.
And there he is getting the rebound.
Yeah,
he
but I
dragged us.
tell you, he's all over. He's getting loose balls. He's getting.
Let me go over
Make
that
it back.
sequence. He shot the free throw. It came off the rim. He got a part of it. It went back out. 3 people battled for it. He went down to the corner and got it again. My
And then
gosh.
lost his balance and was called for travel.
Yeah, it was just amazing.
Well, this 2-3 zone is going to be tough for the Crabbers to get those guards started. Oh, nice job that time.
That was about. No,
That was Pitt.
Yes, it was.
Smallest guy out on the court right now. Gets the rebound amongst the trees.
Number 12 for Phoebus, Belchez. I'm going to tell you, he will put that ball up.
And who was trying to do the putback? Nelson. We got a foul that time. Pitt going in strong.
Took it to the bucket.
Absolutely. You would. He had the man beat. The only way he figured he was going to stop me was to foul him, and that's exactly what he did. And it puts him on the line hitting 2.
That was on Breon Cuffey.
That's one of the twins from Bayside. Now, Pitt's normally a pretty
Sweet
consistent
stroker, yeah.
shooter from the foul line, but that might be just a little bit of adrenaline flowing here because of the matchup of these two teams.
And that was Lewis that just came into the game.
Well, you made a point when you was talking to the coach about best 3-point 0-3 team he's seen. I mean, what a great bunch of athletes they got.
That long rebound.
And there's Nelson, double clutch. Get the defensive man to commit, and then you go. And that, you don't think a zone would do that, but that zone is so
Quick.
and the length of these players. They're getting just a fingertip on the ball or a fingernail and just making it.
Make a difference.
It does. It doesn't take much.
Well, Phoebus has gone out to a 2-point lead, but it's still only an 8-6 game here with 1:31 to go in the first quarter.
I tell you, Jim Boeheim up in Syracuse would love to see what they're doing with this zone because that's what he teaches his guys to do. And I tell you, Hampton is doing the same thing. You put the ball down in the corner, they're double teaming down in their zone.
Well, what I like is when the ball gets passed, 2 people are coming out at the guy receiving the ball by the Crabbers, so they're jumping it too.
Well, he's got Godwin bringing the ball up. Pitt's not in there right now. Whoa. Whoa.
That
Love
was
it.
Ray.
Jalen Ray, man, from downtown, Hampton gets the 1-point lead because of that.
He will shoot. Well, that was a foul.
From back here, that looked like it was good, but it's just off a hair, and it doesn't take much.
That was a nice play by Godwin. Nelson had cornered him on the line. He just threw it off of Nelson. Got out of the way.
I tell you, this Nelson, I could watch him play all night.
Yep.
He's just all over the court. And he never stops going. Just because you don't have the ball doesn't mean you stand there.
I say Hampton's using more players. If that was Battle that just came into the game, give somebody a rest. A little long.
Yeah. And who do you think gets the rebound? Elijah Nelson.
Right place.
Hampton is. They are jumping everywhere. Whoa, that ball was halfway down.
That's a 5-point. As I've said before, it went back in, that'd have been 5 points. It went down twice. Wow. Look at this game, Bob. It's a 9-8 ball game in favor of the Hampton Crabbers right now.
But I tell you, the intensity of both of these teams, these guys know each other. They grew up with each other. They played against each other, played ball with each other. The only guy that comes different from them, Elijah Nelson and the two Cuffey boys, two of them are from Bayside and the other one's from Florida. So, but outside, everybody else knows everybody.
And that's what you were talking about, what Coach Daniels was talking about, that it's just going to take time. 4 of these guys are brand new to this team.
Yeah.
And it's
to the system.
To the system. And they're from not even here. So they haven't played with these players before, like in AAU and whatever. So it's just going to be another time. I'm telling you what, when this Phoebus team gets it right, gets the positions right, and get playing right, they're going to be tough to handle.
In their group 4, they're going to be a team to reckon with.
It's going to be interesting to follow them, and I think we probably will some of the time when they start playing the group 4 other teams, just to see what they're up against.
You and I will go see them play.
That's for sure. We will travel.
Have car will travel.
Or we'll borrow one.
Well, Andy's got one that's real good on gas. Maybe he'll loan that one to us.
Andy owns a Lexus. He will not give up the Lexus. I'm telling you that right now. He only has one set of car keys. His wife has to walk to the back of the car. She can't even drive it. Come on, tell him, Andy. All right, coming out in the second quarter, Hampton with a 1-point lead.
Roy Coleman Sykes, number 4, is in there. And there's Godwin. And he's just a shooter. But did you see the height he got on that little short jumper?
And it was so soft. I mean,
they're doubling when the ball goes to the
ball handler,
to the side or to the corner, they're going to double. They're not going to double straight out, but you get it to the side, they're going to double.
Well, that's what they want them to do. Make them shoot look at that rebound.
And that was number 33, Lonnie Mann. We talked about him because we loved his dad so much playing ball. He won a state championship or something, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He won it in football and basketball, I think. I know he was a reserve on the team in basketball.
Well, he just missed that free throw after we talked about him. But Mathis Caver come back in for the Crabbers. Well, he made 1 or 2, made it a 2-point game. Godwin is bringing the ball up as the point guard. I don't know if Masadi got hurt or what.
Nice pass.
Big number 50, Justin
second
Red.
foul.
He reached in and get the ball and got the guy's head.
But he didn't need, that's 2.
Nah, he didn't need that.
It's the only player so far tonight with 2 fouls, Bob. Of course, they haven't called a whole lot of fouls. They've only called 7.
No, they haven't. Deshaun Combs, I'm sorry, the wrong guy. That's Robert Pedro. He's just 5'5", sophomore for the Phoebus Phantoms right now, and little different look. He's not going to get a lot of rebounds, but he's going to be scrappy out there.
It was a travel.
He called the travel against man.
I didn't see it at all. He caught the ball. Okay.
But again, that pressure. And Hampton a lot of time plays man-to-man, but they're not playing man-to-man now. But you don't let this guy.
That's 20. That's
you can't, Jalen Ray. You just can't let him be open. He can hit that three. And if he's open and you put pressure on him, watch out for Mark Godwin. Hampton's trying to get in the passing lanes. Oh, nice move that time by Man. He did a great job of getting open on the baseline. Oh, good job that time. And that looked like Hampton. That's Caver. Hampton's opened up a 5-point lead.
Nice shot.
That's Harrison Mitchell, 6'9". Nice. He didn't try to overpower, just took a nice little soft jumper. They look like they're playing more matchup than they are 2-3, but I don't know. And there's the guy you want to get the ball to. Whoa. That was not his normal shot.
Foul against Phoebus. I think he called it on 33, I think.
Yeah, 33, but I don't think it's a shooting foul. No, it's not.
Got a little jump step, got a little jump.
Yeah. Hampton in the past would pick you up when you come off the bus and play man-to-man. They're drop back in that zone, but I like the activity of that zone. Very, whoa. That's a shooter's bounce. It ties the game up, but they're very aggressive in the zone, which you don't see a lot of the zone, but they're trapped on the side and in the corners. And you notice a lot of times that a team, that's three for him, right?
Yes, sir.
Whoa, Ray. Downtown Ray.
Taking 3 shots and hit all 3 of them. There's another 3 going up.
Phoebus has not hit one. And Ray again.
There's going to be a timeout now.
Yeah, Daniels needs to do something because Hampton is stretched out to a 5-point lead. They've got a 3 and then a 2 by Ray.
But notice the difference. Nelson has not been on the floor the last 2.5 minutes. Rebounding, Hampton's been able to pick that board a little bit easier than they were and kick it out than they were 3 minutes ago.
And listen, Nelson played almost the whole game the other night over against Menchville. And you need him on the floor as much as you can because he just makes things happen by his tenacious demeanor.
He reminds me of the young man over at Kickitan that played tight end for him. It's always around the ball.
Yep.
What's his name? Who am I talking about? Come on, Carrera. Come on, I usually can read my mind because it's really simple.
You threw me when you brought in Kickitan.
My mind is really simple, and you should have had that.
Yeah, Nick Carrera, you're talking right.
He's always around the ball, and that's the same way Nelson is.
Yeah,
he's in the play. Good blocking out. That was perfect.
And a great pass back to Masadi. Passed the ball, got it back, and made the basket.
Well, you're seeing some really unselfish play by the Crabbers right now.
Yeah, finally got one to go. That's the first 3. That was Jamar, their point guard.
That's his second.
Oh, that's his second?
That's his second.
Oh, he got that weird bounce.
That's right. Yeah. But you're right, he got a nice roll out of it.
He's going to call Masadi. And what happens there is the defensive man stepped out and he kind of hesitated and kept the ball, just kind of palmed the ball a little and then continued to dribble. Well, that's like carrying it. You can't do that.
He rolled his hand or palmed it, like you said, and just.
And it was a good job by Mitchell that time to cause that. Just jumped right out.
What
classic fast break.
Lord.
And that was Pitt and Ray.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to show how to make a fast break, ball never touched the floor, that needs to be on camera right there.
And that was just a bad pass in there.
And that's Nelson. He gets aggressive.
And I don't know what started it, but it's just as aggressive as this game is, you can't be having that. And the foul was against
number 4 for Phoebus. And that would be Marshall. That's his first. The Hampton's out to a 6-point lead with 3:11 to go in the half, Bob.
Marcus Lewis comes in for the Phantoms, and I think he replaced McLean. Nice through jumper that time. You gotta love that. Ricky Hatcher Jr.
Right now, Hampton's having their way. I'm just a little surprised.
Right there, double team. And who comes up with the ball? Because he doesn't run down the court when nothing's happening. Even when he makes something. I'm talking about Nelson. And there's Masadi Pitt. You can't leave him open. Hampton has hit more threes than Phoebus, and that's the difference of the game. It's a 9-point lead. And we watched it the other night against Mentville. Phoebus was in the game, and then all of a sudden in the end of the first quarter and the second quarter, they just like they went to sleep.
I'm seeing who's he calling on.
I think he's calling it on Nelson.
Yeah, he did.
He was trying to get position. It was a little aggressive, and that's just his first foul.
Well, that's the way he plays, man. He's going to be in every play. He's not going to let you walk in there and get it. I guarantee you that. Well, right now, I'm just thinking about Hampton's really hitting the shots. And the first game we did, which was the Bethel-Hampton game, they couldn't make half of those shots.
Yeah.
They just, nice idea.
That was a backdoor cut.
Yep.
Just a little too hard of a bounce pass.
Low.
And too low. But you got to like the way that the Crabbers are running their offense, and that was the jour battle, number 40, that the ball was intended for. Well, we got a timeout. Do you see who called it?
Phoebus called it. Let me just say this. In the second quarter, there have only been 2 free throws. I'm just talking about they're letting them play. I'm not complaining.
And nobody's going to get in the 1-on-1, it doesn't look like.
Not now, no. There have only been
10 fouls.
6 free throws for the game for both teams.
And those were your
attempts.
Yeah.
Only 6 attempts. So, I mean, if you're going to let them play, I love it. Just let both sides play. Let them decide the game. We've talked about that 100 times. Oh, I see the chair's been moved over now.
Oh, Davis lost his chair.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You sit in the chair, you lean back, you eat your popcorn, you watch a great basketball game.
We got to get a little pedestal built down there and get that chair up on that.
The policeman is saying, wait a minute now, maybe I ought to be sitting in that chair.
No, policeman ain't going to be sitting down. Not at the game. I worked a few of these, I know. Used to stand right over there in that corner.
I saw the imprint there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
BM.
All right, Phoebus with the ball. 1:44 left to go in the second quarter. Nelson with a drop step and
just
got too deep.
He got deeper than he thought he was going to, but he is so quick. And there's Masadi Pitt again.
He took it a little quick.
And they got Pitt guarding Nelson. underneath the basket.
He's walking. Oh, my.
Yeah, I think he took an extra step.
Was that
time.
Nelson that hit that?
No, there was 33.
Okay, man.
And there's Pitts, and I can take it right to the basket. You guys are going to leave that lane open. And Pitts had a good first half.
Draw that foul. I'm telling you what, they're carrying it right to him.
And I like the way Lazati Pitt is playing. The young man is the point guard, but he will go on amongst the trees and hold his own. Doing a great job. Made the first one. Got the substitute right now. Crosland's coming in for battle for the Crabbers.
Well, I think probably Coach Nelson's a little bit surprised at what he's seeing. But we know Hampton's a good team. And when they're hitting, brother, you're in trouble. It's just that simple. They're a fast team. They'll put it up. I love the way they're doing that 2-3 zone, jumping the ball at the angles. Not at the top, but at the angles.
But what you'll find with the Crabbers is they're probably as good a three-point shooting team as you're going to find on the peninsula. And that was a nice three that time by one of the fans.
That was Smith. Rose up there in a zone I'm not used to.
You see that Phoebus is back in a man-to-man. You gotta like the pass.
Look at that.
And that was a great follow that time. Crosland, and that ended the game, end of first half, 36-26 with a 10-point lead. Wow. I tell you, we have seen some skywalkers, we see some good threes, we see some excellent passing. The score right now, 36-26 in favor of the Hampton Crabbers. Stay tuned for second half action. We'll be back right after this. All right, welcome back to the second half action with right now Hampton 36, Phoebus 26. Brent, you got some stats there for us.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, Bob. But first of all, let me just say this. The officials have let these two teams play. That's where we ended the halftime. Phoebus had 6 fouls called against them. Nobody with 2 fouls. Hampton had 5, and Justin Red has 2 of those 5 fouls. Now let's get to the scoring. For Phoebus, it's been pretty even for their 26 points. They got 2 players with 6, 2 players with 5, and a couple of players with 2. Now you go over to the Hampton side of it and take a look. You got 1 player with 13. They have 36 points. 1 player with 36. 1 player with 11. And the rest of them are 2, 2, 4, 2, and 2.
Well, then we're talking about Pitt and Ray. Pitt 13, Ray 10 or 11?
Ray with 11. And Pitt caught fire in the second quarter, I'm telling you what.
Boy, he did that. He set him down for a little bit there in the end of the first half and brought him back in, and he was fired up, ready to go.
And of course, Ray didn't come in too shabby either in the second quarter. He's had 4 shots. He's hit 3 threes and a deuce. 2 threes and a deuce in the second quarter, and that's what helped get that 10-point lead for the Crabbers.
And right now, if you look at the percentages of shooting, the Phoebus Phantoms have missed at least 8 or 9 3-pointers, and they've only made 2 or 3.
Well, I can give you that number. The other thing that really shocks me is we've been to see Phoebus play twice. We did one game, and we went and watched them the other night. They get a lot of shots in the paint, around the board, and they're just not hitting them.
Yeah, I don't know if they're short on them, not keeping their head up, because that's what coaches will tell you. When you shoot the ball close to the basket, you got to get your head up so you can see the follow-through and extend that arm. And they're not doing that. They're what we call short-arming.
And the other side of that is, in all honesty, Hampton is hanging in the rebound department, which I thought if they were going to have a problem, that was going to be it. But they've got 3 players that are really hanging rebounding with them, and that's let me get over and look at that board, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Carver has hit some big boards, 42, and it's Crosland. and 50. They've come in and done an outstanding job. And then, of course, if you take a look at Ray, he's come off the board and driven to the hole several times.
Yeah.
They're so quick when they clear the board.
But what I like right now is the way Hampton's defense is playing. They're not playing man-to-man, jump and switch, what we've seen them do in the past. Show us some replays here while we're talking. Hampton's zone is just much more aggressive than Phoebus' zone, and I was talking about how good Phoebus' zone was. As you watch some of the replay there, and Hampton is just passing the ball. You can see the passes. They got more assists tonight than I don't know how many more assists they've got than the Phantoms got right now, but right there's Basati Pitt, and he's the point guard, and he's underneath the basket with all the giants.
And you watch Nelson for Phoebus.
Watch this pass right here. Oh, no, this is a three-pointer. Boom. They made some three-pointers. You got a nice roll there. You got the shooter's touch.
But I'm going to say this. If any team that stays as hot as Hampton was in the first half is going to be hard to beat.
Yeah.
Any team.
That was a good shot right there, Lonnie Mann.
Yeah. Just some great shots by both teams. And look how quick they turn and get it up the floor, though. That's making a difference right now. I think Phoebus is surprised as how much Hampton's able to run. Yep, getting close now. We probably got about 4 or 5 seconds before they call it to a halt.
I tell you, in the replay, Chris Campbell's doing a great job of getting the plays up and running there so we can see them.
I was just going to say again, what a great job the camera crew does. I love it when they get down here on the floor, the two guys that just get right up in the face of these players and you get to see these shots. And here we go. Phoebus starts the second half with the ball, Bob. Take it over.
All right, we got number 21 is running the point guard right now, and that's Marcus Lewis, 5'8" senior on this team. One of the few seniors on this team. But Hampton's zone has just been outstanding. Great passing. Can't get the ball to fall. That was a great pass. Dwayne Marshall, 6'2" senior, is underneath there. He started some people on the second half that we haven't seen. Robert Smith is in there. Nelson is in there. The two young men I just talked about are in there. And that's Dwayne Marshall on the foul line right now.
Boy, he's snake bit. That ball he shot went in and out and around and came out. All right, let's see if Phoebus can kick off the scoring here. There you go, nice sweet touch.
And they're looking for Masadi Pitt to bring the ball up, but if he doesn't, Godwin can bring the ball up. We saw that happen, but
right,
Phoebus is playing more. They're playing the man-to-man.
They're going straight up to man now.
Yeah, and that is just what we thought Hampton would do. And it's Godwin. Good rebound that time, and be able to hang on to it, and that was Dwayne Marshall. Good job, Robert Smith. Took it right to the basket. Hampton comes down quick. Godwin just is a little strong on his shot right now, but he's usually a pretty pure shooter. That young man's not afraid to shoot the ball.
Yeah, that was from downtown. That was Marshall. Just a little bit short.
Pitt had the right idea.
A little bit deep.
We used the basket to protect himself so the big man couldn't block his shot.
He's on his back. But
Hampton comes down looking for that fast break. There's
nobody under the boards.
Yeah, that was red. Oh, I don't know how he got that ball out.
I don't either.
You got it. Good job that time. Jamar got that. He's the point guard underneath the basket. That's the first foul of this second half. I'm sorry. The second foul. There was an earlier foul called against the Crabbers, and that puts Pitt on the line shooting 2. He's got a nice stroke, doesn't he?
It's so short. Yeah, it's so short. He's my favorite kind of point guard. Give me 10, 12 points a game. You've heard me say it. 8 to 12 points a game.
They got to know where you are.
They got to know where you are, and they can't double down on your shooting guard or your 3-man.
Got his own rebound and put it back in. Got a 3-point play a little different than normally.
He did it backwards, Bob.
He most certainly did. We rewind that, it'd be right.
Boy, that's from downtown. And there.
Nelson just overshooting that ball. I mean, he's right under the basket.
Nice hesitation there by Hampton.
Yeah. Chris Crosland and Daniels said, listen, we miss an easy putback down here at this end, and they go down and they get an easy 2-point down at the other end, and they maintain that 10-point lead, 41-31.
They got it down to 6 or 5 points there in no time. In a couple of minutes. And then it's like they kicked out. Of course, like you said, look at the key shots they missed down here underneath the bucket. They missed 2 already, two 2-point buckets.
You know, it's easy to keep the 10-point lead when you do a three-point shot and you do it in reverse. You make the first free throw, and then you get the ball and you put it back in yourself.
It's amazing to go from the line and get that rebound with as much.
Well, with the new rule, everybody can go in except the shooter when the ball leaves his hand. Well, if it's bouncing around, once somebody else touches it, he can get in there and get the ball, and
it's free.
It's free, and that's what Masadi Pitt did that time.
Well, let's see. I would think Phoebus at this point wants to try to take that ball inside, get to the free throw line.
I would think so.
There.
Oh, nice pass inside.
To Smith.
Smith. Robert Smith, 6'4".
Like the way Pitt controls the ball.
Yeah.
What a move. Oh, just missed.
And that was a save. You don't think it's going to help you, but that was a hustle save that time by the Crabbers.
Now Godwin seems to be having a little bit of trouble with his shot so far tonight.
Yeah, he does.
I think he's 1 of 5 so far. It's got to be 5 here in the second. Should have been hanging on the rim.
Yeah.
Ball was above it. Come on, they just getting a little sloppy here. Are you kidding me?
How many shots have we seen them miss underneath the basket?
Wow.
It's like, they're either putting a little spin on the ball or something that's causing that ball not to go in the basket. It's amazing to me.
As I said during Coach Daniels' interview, somebody's snake bit. I just don't know how else to figure it.
Well, the whole team, right now, they easy shots, and they can't get it to fall.
Yeah,
there you go. That'll help you. That brings it back to 5 real quick.
You let a player walk into a shot like that and don't contest it. He can hurt you.
It's Raekwon Cuffey that's guarding Pitt right now.
Hampton's been able to do this without Godwin doing much scoring, so
if he gets hot, that could really hurt the Phantoms. Man, does he get up in the air.
Oh.
Are they going to give him the basket?
I don't think so.
Well, I didn't know if he hit him or hit the ball while it was in the cylinder. It's just they jumping so high, they losing the ball. It gets up there where it's real cold and it gets slippery. Lonnie Mann comes in and replaces Nelson. And somebody came in for the Crabbers. DeJour Battle sits down.
2 smooth strokes. That gets it down to a 3-point game, Bob. Phoebus is making the move they want to make.
As bad as Phoebus is playing, to be within 3 points is almost inconceivable.
What did he do?
He called blocking a foul on the
Phoebus player.
Phantoms. So that's he was riding for the basket, and they just
too much stuff, man. Just put it in the bucket.
Yeah. Trying to avoid getting a block. And the little guy, you love to see the little guy get it. That's DeQuan Cuffey, and they got it within 1 point, and Crabbers called timeout. But the little guy gets the ball and puts it back. You gotta love it.
We were talking about how many shots Phoebus missed down here. Now in this quarter, Hampton's probably missed 3, maybe 4 close-in shots. Too much stuff on the ball. Godwin's penetrated to get the ball on the glass, and it's just too much stuff on it.
Well, he did a double clutch that time and put a little spin on it, and you're right, the spin took the ball right out of the basket. But sometimes you're expecting the contact, and it's not there, and you shoot like you're getting contact.
Now, he's getting up there even with the rim when he's putting it up. That's the amazing part. Like I said, if he gets hot right now, for Hampton, Godwin, who's averaging 20 points a game, right now he has 2 points.
I would not have taken that bet.
No. And he's getting open for some shots. He just doesn't seem to.
Some nights you're just not on.
Yeah. And it don't take but 1 or 2 shots.
There's a nice 3 from the corner. And that was Coleman Sykes.
Tried to do too much.
And another one lost the ball, lost the handle. And now you gotta get the ball to Pitt. He'll make it go in.
Good heads-up play by Godwin on that. Back up to a 6-point game. They had it down to a 1-point game a minute ago, Bob.
Yeah, it doesn't take long to get it back. If you miss a couple of easy shots and you let the other team take them. There's a long man. Whoa.
We saw him do that the other night.
All right, Daddy, make your daddy proud. Cut that 3-point lead. That'll stop a lead in a heartbeat.
I'll tell you, it's tough when a 6'4" guy can go out there and nothing called.
I'm not too sure about that call.
Me either.
This is where the officials need to talk, and you need to converse. And that's why I love this right now.
It should happen.
Are you sure it wasn't going the other way? And it is. And exactly, this guy saw it. The other official also had a shot at it and did not see it, evidently. But
yeah, I mean, it was an obvious play.
Well, they conversed.
But the play was that Godwin got taken down.
Yeah. You can't pass the ball through somebody's hands. And that's what it tried to do that time, and then he ends up making a foul.
And once you leave the floor, you're committed.
Yep. You can't dribble. When you're coming down, you've got to have the ball out of your hands.
I have to tell you, Ray's had a hot hand this game so far. That's
Yes,
number 20.
he has. And there's Godwin, and he's going to hit him. He's a shooter, and a shooter will shoot until he hits that first one, and then he'll continue to get his confidence back, and you like that stroke. And there's
Nelson.
Elijah Nelson.
Double pump right there, buddy. It's a 3-point game. It was a 10-point game at halftime. Smart play.
Yeah. And that brings the fourth foul against the Phantoms, and that's on
32. That's his first.
That's Raekwon Cuffey. And Breon Cuffey's his twin brother. He's 25.
Lord, what was that official looking at?
You gotta love. He feels it. He feels
Yes,
that
sir.
I can beat any guy one-on-one. And that's kind of
Yes,
point guard you want.
Yes, sir.
That can penetrate.
That was on Mann right there. That's his third foul. Takes it back up to 5. He makes this, put it back at a 6-point.
A good shot there, Masadi. He's had a couple three-pointers.
12 seconds to go in the game. I mean, in the third quarter. I was thinking. And Hampton back to a 6-point lead. Y'all get
The crew got excited.
I have to say, the last 2 games we've seen Phoebus play, Nelson got real hot. They got a 2. Okay.
And that's good. That cuts it to 4 points. So the Phantoms, even though they made some mistakes, got some extra fouls on them on everything, they cut the lead to 4, and it was 10
That's right.
at the start of this half.
I just let you know, Marshall, who just made that last shot, has scored 8 points in the third quarter. And Robert Smith, number 44, has got 4 points.
What did Mann get?
Mann got 1-3. He hit that long from deep in the dark in the closet.
Hey, listen, that 3 is a
Nelson
big shot.
got 1-2 in that half. Now for Hampton, Pitt continued to be hot. He got 6, 7, 8 points in the third quarter and had 13 in the first half.
Well, see, he's averaging right close to 20 points a game and did a good job. And I tell you, I got to like what these officials are doing. They're letting them play. And Rick Brandt, who's right in front of us, Sean Whitfield, and Derek Stiff, all doing a great job today.
They let the players make the decision. Anything aggravated, if it's affecting the flow of the ball, as you like to say, it should draw a whistle. But the incidental stuff, we don't need to see 48 fouls called.
Right. If somebody changes direction from defense, changes the offensive man direction, that's a foul.
Yep. Well, here we are in the fourth quarter. 8 minutes to go, and it's a 4-point lead for the Crabbers, and they start the fourth quarter with the ball. And Phoebus, of course, has come out into a man-to-man.
They've been a man-to-man this whole half.
Yep, they're going to contest everything. And the ball goes into Pitt. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, in the fourth quarter.
And Raekwon Cuffey is guarding Pitt. Pitt thinks I can take him. Oh, nice block. Nice block because he hit the ball before it got to the backboard. And we got another foul pretty soon. Hampton is going to be in a 1-on-1, and they've only had 2 fouls, team fouls called against them.
That was on 33 again. It was on Mann.
That's 4. Masadi feels it. Wow,
Lord.
another one on Mann. He's out of there.
And that was
great rebound that time.
That was by Crosland.
Chris Crosland, what a great job he did on that.
They called that on Marshall, didn't they?
They must have. I thought it was on Mann. I really did. I'd hate to see him get his 4th foul that quick.
His 5th.
Or 5th foul that quick, I'm sorry. They're just not shooting the ball as well as Hampton from the outside.
Well, Hampton is handling Nelson a lot better than some of the other teams that I've seen.
Going to call a foul on Nelson on the floor before the shot, but that's a 1-on-1. They'll put him on the line, and as good a shooter as he is, Marquise Godwin, he will more than likely get both of them. He's shooting 1-on-1, and Lonnie Mann comes out, and Marcus Lewis replaces him.
Hampton
and
is.
Dwayne Marshall comes in, checks in for Cuffey. That's the guy. That's that shot. That you see that the technique of that shot. That's what you normally see. And he just seems to be
Get the backspin on the ball. Nice, soft, and if it hits the rim, it's going to be soft. All right, Hampton back up to a 7-point lead, I think it is, or 8-point lead.
I think it's 8.
Yeah, 8.
You went to Hampton. You can get.
Well, I'm in the building. It's affected me all my life.
Yeah. Going to call a foul on, who is that? That's number 20. That's McLean. I'm sorry. That's Jalen Ray.
Yeah. That's his second.
That's just the third team foul.
Right. Travers. See Nelson holding his hand up in there. He wants that ball.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that. Number 42 put his arm back around.
But he's not going to call it. He's going to call Hampton for it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. 42 had his hand, went over the back of Nelson. That's Chris Crosby. You can't do that. I know you've got to fight for position.
I was watching the play when Smith put his arm into the chest of the defender at the same time he blew the ball.
Oh, okay.
Short.
And that's what you want if you. Oh, no, you can't grab the rim.
Good try, though.
You can get by with it, baby, but you can't grab the rim to help you get the ball in the basket.
That was Cross, and he got that little grin on his face.
He did. He knew. Well,
I knew it. Nelson wants that ball inside, and
they're not looking for him.
Oh, my Lord. That was Ray again.
Yep, and that was a great pass from Godwin.
He walked.
And threw the ball away. But he missed the walk. You're right.
He had a little Shirley Temple going on there when he got the ball. A little dance step.
A little dance step. Oh, I thought he forgot his suitcase.
I have to tell you, I thought.
Back to a 10-point lead. I'm sorry.
I thought Phoebus would be a little deeper, but I have to tell you, right now, Hampton has really played their players very smart. And, they can kick out. That's what they want to do. See Hampton go to the ball. Oh, now that's it. Yes, sir. It's going to be a tech.
You can't pull yourself up.
It's going to be a tech.
After you make the basket, you can't pull yourself up, and that's what happened. Hampton's going to shoot 2 free throws. You're going to put Godwin on the line. He'll make the 2. They get the ball out of bounds. Still a 10-point lead.
Now they'll get the ball.
Absolutely, because the basket was made down at this other end, but the technical is also a personal foul. And that was on, it was Robert Smith, wasn't it? Yeah, 44. You had a man wide open underneath the basket. Nobody saw him.
Yep, he was there. That's double bonus now. And that's Marshall's 4th foul.
So they got it up there 3.
Well, I think they just had 4. Well, I got 4, I'm telling you.
Well, I'm showing you what it's got on the board. It's 3.
Well, they count, not me.
They're the one. That's the official book over there. Even though you were right, you will be wrong.
I'm just going by what they've called so far.
I'm impressed with the way the Crabbers are playing tonight. They look more under control. They're more aggressive, even though it's not man-to-man.
Completely different team than what we saw against Bethel.
I tell you, it is. Robert Smith going to the board and draws the foul on Chris Crosland.
That's his 3rd.
And that's only the 15th foul called against the Crabbers with 4 minutes to go in the game. 4 minutes and 33 seconds to go in the game. I tell you, this is a great shot. Our camera people are doing such a great job.
Well, we're going to have to.
That's Randy Begoli down there underneath that basket. And he was telling me, he says, you know, basketball is fun, but he says when you do 2 games and that camera as heavy as it is, he says, 1 game would be plenty.
Well, he can give up his gym membership by hustling that camera, Ray, I can tell you that.
Made them both.
Well, we're going to do player of the game again tonight in this game, and it's going to be brought to you by, shirts are going to be sponsored by Tidewater Team Sports. 5940411. Terry McNamara, David Chubb, they have been supporting the Hampton Schools programs for more years than I can remember, and I want to thank them very much. For any of your needs in sports or embroidery, please give them a call.
When they first started doing it, it was David Chubb worked out in Willow Oak Shopping Center at it was a hardware store that did screen printing. And been doing it ever since. Well, thank Dave Chubb.
He went to a couple of different places, didn't he, Bob?
Well, he owned his own business and then went to Islander. Now he's got his other business. Him and Terry McNamara doing a great job. And Lonnie, man, that's what you do.
That was Smith.
Smith. You slam the ball down, and then you don't grab and hang on to the rim. Because it was a wash. It was a wash when you make it and then you give it
Give it back.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, like we've been saying, ladies and gentlemen, there's look at the officials there laughing at what they're seeing. Them boys are getting up in the air. That's what they're saying. They're playing in a different time zone.
Well, not only different time zone, the guy's saying, you know, if I jumped that high, I'd get a nosebleed and frostbite.
I'd hurt myself coming down.
Oh, I wouldn't even think about coming down.
Well, here we are, 4:19 to go, Bob. It's 10-point game favor the Hampton Crabbers in their home gym. But the more important thing is that Hampton is into double bonus already, and Phoebus is 2 fouls away from getting in the 1-and-1.
Yeah.
And with 4 minutes to go, Phoebus is the one that may have to start fouling.
Well, and right now they're going to be a little more aggressive than they were earlier, and by being more aggressive, you put yourself in a position to have a foul called, and you're going to foul a team that is pretty good at foul shooting.
But I have to say, I've been and watched Phoebus. This is my 3rd time seeing him play. And this is the most off game that Nelson has had. He scored 27 one time, 30 another time, and tonight he's only got 8 points. And he's missed a couple of free throws. So I'm just surprised. Usually in the 3rd quarter of every game we've watched him, he took over.
A nice fake.
Pump. Nice pump.
That's Crossland, wasn't it?
Yes. Phoebus cannot give up baskets like that, and they can't be driven. They got to put the ball up.
You got to keep somebody back.
He's got to put that up, short it, get to the back. And
he used the board the second time,
yes,
and that's the difference. Hampton does a good job of breaking the press. They're looking for the open man, and they're finding them. And Masadi Pitts having an awesome game, awesome game.
If you're going to let me have it, I'm going to take it. That's what he's saying. Yeah.
Robert Smith did a good job of controlling that ball. Nice shot that time.
25.
For the that's Breon Cuffey, one of the twins that transferred in here from Bayside. And they're going to call the foul on Smith, aren't they?
Yes. And that'll be his third by my count.
And you're right, by their count. Also.
You mean I did something right so far?
You have done something right so far.
3:05 left, still a 10-point lead, and his chance for Hampton to take it to 12. This has been quite an impressive game for Coach Brower tonight. I think he's got to be happy, his whole coaching staff. I don't think they've trailed, have they, Bob?
I don't think so.
Well, this is Crosland here tonight, and he is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Chance to be in double figures. There you go, got one of them.
One of two would put an 11-point lead.
Well, this is playing in the Hamptons' favor now, dribbling the ball. They've got to get this ball up in the air. That's a 2.
A foul on Cuffey. Puts Hampton back with a double bonus, so they're going to get 2 shots every time they go to the foul line.
This has been quite impressive.
And Ray at the foul line missed the first one, left-hander. Brings Nelson back in. Nelson's had on the bench a long time. And Hampton's making 1 or 2.
Well, you give me a point every time you go down court, you're going to win a lot of games. Just 1 point.
Well, and especially when you let the other team is not making making a basket, not getting to the foul line.
Did you see that? Nelson took the shot from 3-point land and got there at the same time the ball did, just about.
He's amazing. I think he's got the foul call on it, too. That's his third?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, that's his third. $12-point game, Bob. A little surprised. I thought it'd be nip and tuck down to the end, didn't you?
Well, I did too, and I'm sure both coaches thought it was going to be a close game, but Phoebus has just not hit the outside shot. They missed a lot of inside shots, and Hampton has not missed many free throws.
I'm going to tell you what.
You got Masadi Pitt on there, and he's a good shooter. And if we're going to player of the game, he's got my vote.
Well, I think right now he's probably leading the whole show. He backed into him. Yep.
No, he traveled.
Yes, he did.
You're right. He backed into him, but he shuffled his feet.
Yep.
Off the what was that? Shuffle off the Buffalo or something?
Wow. I hadn't thought of that in a long time.
I think it's Bob Hope.
About 2:23 left, and Hampton has a 14-point lead. And I'm a little surprised. I don't know what's going on. Got a little bit of confrontation here, and the official stepping in. This is a rivalry. This is Phoebus Hampton.
Yeah, and Phoebus is a little bit. It's not only snake bit, but they're frustrated.
Yeah,
they are great athletes on a team that just don't seem to play together every night.
Yeah, this is the second little intimidation factor, and you see Coach Walter Brower having a talk with Ray.
We don't need that.
You don't need to walk up and to get anything started. You don't need to be causing any problems. You don't need to miss the next game because you make a silly mistake.
That's right.
And the team needs you. You don't need to be doing that. Right now, I'm looking at I think I have Pitt with 23 points, Bob. And I have Godwin here in this 7-8. He's got 10 for the night, so that's 2 in double figures. And then you go to Crosland, he's got 8 10, 11, 12, 13 points. So that's 3 players for Hampton are in double figures. But right now, I think there's no doubt about where we're going. And I think you called it. So for Hampton, I'll let you, when we get to it, let you make that play.
I'm assuming you have talked to David Chubb. You got the.
We are made arrangements.
Good.
We're okay.
We're good. Did you get over to Mr. Walder and give him his player of the game shirt for the job he did with helping
absolutely.
us with
he was. I gave him 2, and I'll tell you why.
All right.
I've known Doug's family for a long time, and we go way back through the church and everything. And I didn't know exactly how much weight Doug would put on. So, Doug, if you're listening to this, I gave you a 1X and a 2X, and it's up to you, my friend. And if you want to let the wife wear the other one, look down court. Yeah.
You gotta have. If you're gonna press, you gotta have somebody back. And I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen much of
nice move
of Harrison Mitchell.
Oh, should not have done that. That's going to make the coach angry.
Yeah, that's the one you shoot the nice layup that we work in all day. We warmed up, we shoot the layup, and then what you do, you try to stuff it.
So figure out what's going on here.
Well, they're trying to say it's a foul against Hampton, but there's not a 1-on-1 yet.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. Well, that's his first foul.
We got a foul underneath on the rebound.
I think Nelson took somebody out. Yeah.
He's going to call an intentional foul. Wait a second. Who's the foul on?
2-3, which is Nelson.
Nelson.
He cleaned out a little bit.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Must have been against Hampton. But that, if it's against Hampton, it's a 1-on-1. I'm not sure what's going on, but it's good to see the officials are conferring again. Something is.
Well, they called 23 for the foul. Hampton don't have a 23 on the floor. And that's my point.
Eric Brown is a little upset, and I don't blame him. He just, what's going on? Talk to me.
And he's saying, how do you call a foul? Because he can't be on a Hampton 23. Nelson just smacked it right away.
He is
quick.
But he is all over the court.
He is cat quick.
Cut it to a 14-point lead, but with 1:36 to go, it's almost a moot point at this conjecture.
Right.
Been a great game.
Oh,
I want to thank our crew, Randy Pagoli and Stephen Fryer, the cameras on the end lines, Susan Bowers, Wube Gabre up in the stands, and they're probably pretty hot.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Buckwalder, graphics and animation, camera control operator Renee Camden, Greg Lesko, engineer and audio, instant replay Krista Campbell, Andy Foley is the director, and big guy, executive producer.
Well, I just want to say, I can't imagine. I'm down here at sea level, and I'm sweating BBs, and those people up at Ube and shooting them up there in the rafters, man. I'm telling you what.
There's Mr. Beverly right there is the principal at Phoebus, and is the principal at Hampton, and I'm not sure what her name is, and I apologize for that.
Well, Hampton now.
Tiffany Hardy. Tiffany Hardy. Apologize for that, Tiffany. You're the one who should have been in that chair. That quick foul on Hampton.
No, it was on Phoebus. That was on 12 for Phoebus, I think.
I mean, putting Hampton on the line.
Yep. He's got 4. right, so that's going to put Crosland on the line, and right now, he's who I'm looking at. No.
No, we already got this guy. You got to get one from the other team.
I'm already thinking about it. That's what I'm thinking about. Same number.
Same number.
No,
there you
no,
go.
here we go. No, on the other side, we're going with, right now I'm going with Smith, number 44.
I'll go
He's
with
got 15
along with
points.
that.
Ooh, I thought he was going to take it. Nice move.
Nice drive. That time, they don't expect him. He's been shooting outside three. And guess who made that steal?
Somebody's got to
Nelson.
Somebody's got to call out some numbers. There's Lonnie.
Boy, he got his pocket picked.
Yeah,
And they're going to call a foul on him. That's on Nelson.
And that's going to be his fifth, if I've got it right. And he lost the ball and got a little bit too aggressive. Yep.
And that is 5.
And that's going to send Hatcher to the line.
And that's going to bring in Roy Coleman Sykes.
I'm surprised it's a 13-point game, Bob. I really am.
Well,
not taking anything away from Hampton.
No.
I just thought Phoebus would be more in this game. I really did.
But the Hampton's game plan worked to perfection.
That I want to call it a jumping zone defense. I don't know what else to call it, because when the ball would get to an angle, they were jumping it with 2 men and chasing it all the way into the corner. And
Yep.
That already penciled them in.
You knew he was going to make them, huh?
Felt good. Ooh. My.
They're going to call a foul.
That's going to be.
And Dwayne, that's going to be on Roy Coleman Sykes, number 4.
That's his second. They got him down for 3. And that's putting Smith at the line, I believe. Yep, Robert Smith. And right now, with 52 seconds left to go in the game, Bob, why don't we announce our players of the game?
Player of the game for the Hampton Crabbers, Masadi Pitt.
And for the for Phoebus Phantoms, let's go with Robert Smith. He's ended up tonight with 15 points, and he's on the line to get more. Rebounded well, played defense well, kept us cool. Just a real player. That makes points number 16. What a great evening for basketball, folks. You've watched
It has been
some
a great one. I tell you, you need to come to one of these ball games. Don't cost much to come in and watch some great basketball. I tell you, all 4 Hampton schools are playing well this year.
Smart play, eat some clock.
They don't need to score. You don't need to score. Unless you got a layup.
There you go.
They're going to give him the basket and put him at the line.
And who was that? 34 for Hampton.
Yeah, the foul. Yeah, going to the foul line, number 21 for the Phantoms, and that's Marcus Lewis.
They've had every ball in the world fall around that basket. I'm telling you, they have put them up there, and they're just not falling for them.
Breon Cuffey, the junior, transferred in from Bayside, on the foul line. 18.1 seconds. We've wrapped it up. Masadi Pitt, Robert Smith are 2 player of the game for their respective teams. Thank our crew, done a great job.
Well, it's been fun.
It's been
Got a little
awesome.
warm in here. I want to thank both coaches and the officials because the game got heated a couple of times and they immediately stepped in. Both coaches took control of their players and the officials handled it very professional.
I tell you, these are one of the best officiated games we've seen.
In a long time. They did a great job. There's Mr. Smith, our player of the game. A little bit of tomahawk.
Well, you know, you've been frustrated all night.
Yep.
And you lose by 11, but you made a statement. Best 0-4 team I've seen in a long time.
I don't know when it's going to come together for them. I don't think I know what the magic ingredient is they're missing because they sure have the talent. It's been a joy watching them. We've been to 3 Phoebus games now and just saw how smooth and how much talent they have, and they've walked away 4 times.
Well, it doesn't look like to me that they're not playing as a unit. That I don't know what it is, but the coach will figure it out. I want to thank you, Brent Musgrove, and our crew, our camera people. Everybody's done a great job. The final score, Hampton 78, Phoebus 69. Good night, everybody.